Hello, everyone. My name is Yuta Jazz, and today we are going to do a message from a source or source's message to you. Yeah, you can view it however you connect to source or the all, the everything, whatever it is, right? Um, and I guess the easiest way I'd describe it is this will be a message from like the entirety of everything or the entirety of eternity to you. And yeah, um, it's probably going to be quite interesting in terms of messages, considering that uh, this is like the fabric of all, right? But also us in it, or our place and our role and our connection with everything as well. There's a always a symbiotic relationship there, basically. Regardless of where you're at or who you are. Even if you're in severe hermit mode or separation, this would still speak to you or relate to you in some shape or form or sense, right? Also includes like multiple collectives that we are a part of or have been a part of or have like an inherent connection to, God as well. Whatever else you want to look at through all of it, it's a huge lens with a huge variety of beings and collectives and all the rest. So, yeah, as always, we're gonna start with pile number one, all through to four. And yeah, you can pick your pile, and I'll see you over there. Hello, pile number one. Let's see what you got. The Star. Ooh la la. I gotta say, this is very sexy energy. Like right off the bat, very sexy energy, very present, very current, very in self, in the point of like power and acceptance of self, finding like a place of home or unity or a sense of oneness within self, and then also seeing the world through that lens. I know that this card, specifically in this deck, kind of speaks to that quite significantly, but I haven't really read it that way or spoke to it that way. So this is the first time that I'm seeing it as really as like finding so much peace and love within yourself, that serenity, that acceptance, that connection radiates through you into the outer world or the external world. It's like you kind of just through being the point of how you see life then actually like expands that energy outwards. It shapes it shifts it to a more aligned place as well. You're probably seeing a lot of like magic or symbols or synchronicities. Maybe you're just seeing like different ways of how spirit talks to you. Animals and birds are coming through quite a lot. Those weird moments when you might be sitting in the park or I don't know, having a bus drive or just a drive in general, or having a moment of almost like meditation or serenity somewhere, and it's like you feel as if the world is speaking to you or spirit is speaking to you through these very simple yet like pronoun that's not the word. What's the word that I can't actually say the damn word. Through these like very significant or special moments that you personally feel. It might be quite benign, it might be very simple, right? But you in that moment actually feel like it is connecting to you on a deeper level or quite significant or special in some way. And you're legitimately maybe looking at a squirrel eating a nut up in a tree way high up, right? Where most people wouldn't be noticing it. Or you see even like a billboard at a specific time while you're on the train or something, or there's an ad in the metro. Um, or like cloud gazing, right? Starts like speaking to you in some way where it's like, oh my God, I'm receiving some quite divine messages, or this feeling that's overflowing me is quite particular and specific. So you yourself are finding so much love and appreciation within yourself that it's not just radiating out, but it's really aligning you to all that is in life. Um, I'm not surprised that the Hermit is coming out here because even if you're connected with people or you're outside a lot or you're traveling around a lot of people all the time or maybe like, around work colleagues or friends or family, it feels like this is a very personal and important, like intimate experience for you specifically. Others can't feel it, others can't see it, they don't know what's happening. And also, the star comes after the hermit, right? I could be off on that, but yeah. Or somehow the hermit and the star is connected, because I keep hearing that, honestly. Though in terms of numbers, these two don't add up to that. But we'll move along. There's something that they're connected with or whatever. Um, From what I remember, this is like Virgo, that's Aquarius, right? But there's something here with those two cards or with that exchange more than just what I'm speaking to. But yeah, you are really resonating with universal energy and the natural law of all. You've tapped into like your fountain of youth or your fountain of life within you. You might have been not really thinking a lot, but feeling more. You might have been at like feeling yourself coming from your chest or from your heart, as it said more. You might feel like you're not really in general in the head or anywhere else, but you're specifically like at your core somehow, naturally, just sitting there and letting that describe what it is for you. Interesting. So you are, while you're in this position or in this place and way of living or being, you are rectifying some things. You are somehow changing the course of your life in a way. A really strong feeling I am getting is that something that didn't a dream that you looked forward to, you don't look forward to anymore, and nothing really worked out there, but you're not heartbroken over it. You're just accepting the point that you're moving on and you're creating something better for yourself that is more aligned to you and is more sustainable, is more easy to live with. It is more clear for you and how it brings you joy. Like this new way of approaching life is an investment for you to create in how you're creating something that you actually want to have for maybe the rest of your life or maybe just for this stage, right? And it'll evolve into something else. But you are basically you're letting yourself let go of this like almost like lie to yourself and moving into a new beginning where you feel like at home, you feel enticed by life. Everything feels more real. It's not cluttered in your mind with a bunch of like ideas and thoughts and goals and it's more like I want to feel good. This is how I feel good. That's it. It's never been this simple for you. It's very simple for you. Three off the top, please, as well. So you're accepting that there is going to be mystery, but you're not letting yourself be heartbroken over it. Like you don't need to control things as much as you used to control them. And we got the star again. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the thing of like every t like I don't really pay attention to like zodiac signs in cards or which one is connected to what and what the story of tarot is. I personally am always surprised whenever I hear like readers speak about it or look into it. I guess, they have more experience in like Rider Waite storytelling more so than me. They've looked into the symbology and points of it a bit deeper, I'd say, than I ever have. I'm expanding my own feeling and understanding on it, but the point that the star and the hermit is super connected somehow is just really like bugging me in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. Somehow it's like one comes after the other, or like they're connected. Maybe this is how you shine. Maybe that's the point. Like you're actually shining because you're in your own feeling of stability and presence and acceptance. Whereas other people might be trying to be this, right? But they're not in their heart about it. And you've just it literally feels like you've just let go of the fight, the struggle, the societal ideologies or personal ideologies of how life should be and what is your success, what are your goals, what is going to make you happy. You've just cut the bullshit and went straight to the change of fate and circumstances. You're stepping into your destiny somehow as well. It's really coming through. Your guides are like helping that come together in the ethers for you to physically experience it more. And you're kind of even excited a little bit, like unnerved, but excited about the mystery and unknown of the situation. It feels like you're not really drowning in what you need to let go or the anguish of stuff. I feel like because you're in your heart, there's stuff that like pops up and goes away, like emotional release in a way where it's like, oh, you might have like a really good day, right? But by the end of it, let's say you're tired, let's say you've done a lot, let's say you're decompressing, right? And that's when there's a moment of maybe something from the past waving out as a residual emotion, right? Like something that you felt really long ago kind of pops up to decompress forever, like completely be let go of, and so you move forward in that way. So you're not stuck in the stage of like the despair or leaving depression, right? Or coming out of the slump. It's like you're already living in the present moment and enjoying the ebbs and the flows of it. You're really finding how life is made out of the good and the bad. It's not necessarily, it's like all of the waves of up and down have become just one spectrum for you, or one line. It's like the pendulum swing, right? And the pendulum swing has really become something that isn't as an extreme, but is more an even way of life. Yin and yang is coming through. But like yin and yang in the philosophy of life, not necessarily as much in masculine and feminine. Yeah. All right. These cards, I did get told that they have to, oh geez, be red blast later. I did not expect these cards. They're good cards. The energy is nice from them, but I'm just trying to read into what they're saying. Okay, so the thing that's coming through is like you're rewriting your whole brain. Something about like you're it's almost like you're setting a blaze to what you believed and thought was life. You had a pretty set way of how life goes, what it's about, what it means, why it even happens. What are people born for? What is their purpose? Like you had a lot of set ideas that you've just like pulled the rug out of under and just completely you're discarding it. You're letting it go. You're understanding that that wasn't actually the real way of how you were connected to life, nature, spirit, higher realms or higher understanding of life, you've understood that actually even that was societal programming, and it was quite critical, and it was limiting you and how you approach life. You now understand that actually, like, why do I need this superiority complex? Why do I need to be moving so fast? Why do I need to be constantly in the loop about things? Why do I need to constantly be having conversations with people? Why do I need to even like be here and invest in this shit I don't actually feel good about or even care about, you know? Like we're all doing that and now I can see what it's doing to us. It's kind of like you are what you eat, but as instead of eating, it's like you are what you do, what you create, what you communicate, what you invest your time into. It's like I'm done on that boat. I'm going onwards, onwards and upwards, beyond what our society has promised us life is about. You're getting out of the rat race as well. For some of you, maybe you're like leaving corporate environments or certain job titles that you thought were good, but they're not really for you. And I don't know why, like I'm thinking like even of a hairdresser, for example, right? That thought they wanted to be a hairdresser, but then actually it's taken them like 20 or something years, right? And they really wanted to be a hairdresser since they were like a kid, but it's taken them like 20 or 30 years to realize like I wanted to be a hairdresser because my my parents, my mom, my I don't know, siblings, but I feel like it was more parental. Insert whatever that might be for you, you know, like what shaped you as a kid, but my parents were really super into superficial freaking shit. Like they were really up in their head about looking good and being flashy and being the center of attention when they go out or go to parties or like their neighbors are constantly talking about them in good or bad ways. And it's like, why? I don't even actually like worrying about how I look that much, let alone worrying or helping other people worry about how they look. Like I'm not a hairdresser for the love of it. I'm a hairdresser because I thought this was cool, important, and what I want to do and what I want to invest because of my parents. Maybe even your parents didn't really contribute to this all that much. It's just what you were exposed to, and so you've developed this sense of importance around it, right? But now you realize like that was never me. I was never a damn hairdresser. I never actually liked it. It was a dependency on importance and attention rather than the real deal of it. And you don't even have an issue with hairdressers or salons or, you know, like that stuff. Like you understand a deeper layer to it, not the superficial side of it that you've gone into. And like a lot of your life is starting to make sense because you can see like where maybe people even reacted weirdly to you because they saw that you were investing in something you didn't actually care about or like or want. You were just doing it because it seemed important to you when you were a child, and so that developed into a character of like, I'm gonna build myself up about and around this thing because I believe in my capabilities and what I want to do, right? But sometimes it is that simple or complicated. It's a case of like, oh, this is my thing, or oh, this isn't my thing. This is not my thing. So yeah. This is quite interesting. This is quite a good reading. We have one more message from the universe has your back deck. Da, 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 da. Yeah, but you might be shocking some people in a good way as well. Doing some inspiring things for people. Oppa. Energy flows where my intention goes. Yeah, that's just finishing up the message. You've stopped communicating to the universe in ways that doesn't manifest the stuff you want and manifest the stuff that you don't want. You've stopped doing that. Instead, you've started using your capacity to understand, to create, to envision, to live by, you've started like funneling it into a place and direction where it's about your interests, your passions, your love, your peace and serenity, and like in a way where you don't need to prove anything anymore, where you don't need to do anything. This is weird. This is new. So I have never seen the point that this is a little bit pink. This card has always been gold and dark gold to me, or yellow, and like the power of manifestation comes through that, right? The creation aspect from it. But this right here is just speaking to me on how you found your heart somewhere. You found your heart, and now you're living by it, and you've decided that that's what life's about. I don't need to prove shit no more, no more to know nothing. Nothing. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your energy, and having this reading. I really appreciate you, and I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to share your story or just, show some support, you can go down below to all of the special clicky buttons that we all know and love. Um, and if not, you can go to just like my link tree to check out some other things that I'm doing. I've started doing streams again, so for the time being, we're gonna see how I do with like two streams and two videos a week. Because I do miss like the real-time interaction. I did the tarot stream like a few days ago, and before that, I tried doing a gaming one, and I was too tired, and it was just like me talking to you guys about. We spoke about diet and good food and fun, like vibes and cooking and some other stuff I can't remember anymore because I just started getting way more tired and loopy. But it was a good time anyway. So if you're on Twitch, or if you're not and you just want to have something to watch, you can get those links down below in Linktree. Other than that, oh, and I feel like saying that I just reached like Fallout episode 100 on my gaming channel that I'm putting VODs on. So if you wanna like see it there as well for like gaming stuff, go ahead. My nose is acting up. I'm gonna end this. All right, bye guys. Bye. Hello, pile number two. Welcome in. Let's check what your card is. The Queen of Pentacles. Wow. You're taking your time with life. You're enjoying some harvest as well. Some of it, for some, not everyone, it's romantic. And I don't think it's just romantic in the like sense of like love with people or partnerships or like being in romantic relationships. I feel like romantic as in the romance of life. It's really kind of funny how in English it is a thing, but it's so uncommon for people to hear, and it sometimes even confuses people. But like what I'm talking about is, there's a saying of like a romantic at heart, but now think about not a person that looks or strives for that in relationships, but more like a poet, right? A philosopher of life, a observer from like the side of where they're just kind of like finding love with what life is about, or the finding like a deep sense of appreciation or connection with the poetic side of life, the unseen, the stuff that kind of grips at your heartstrings and makes you feel like life is romantic, but it doesn't need to include a person, right? Um, Sunsets, sunrises, stargazing, having I don't know, the what I imagined as well is like having a plan of going with your bike to drive somewhere or whatever, right? But you're also taking not just a ferry. What are they called? Whatever, those really big ships or what have you that take passengers and cars and everything else like across from island to island, right? I think it is also called the ferry, but yeah, I might be missing a little bit of the word here, but I think you've gotten my point. And it's like you're looking over the waves, you're looking at the water. Maybe you even see like I don't know, freaking some dolphins swimming, and you're like, this is a good day today. You're enjoying a cup of like OJ or a coffee or a tea or something, or even a smoke, and you're just like. Today's a good day, or when it's sad, you still welcome it because there's romance in things not working out or sadness, right? And it's like, I don't know, you're finding your own groove with what matters in life. You're also reaping some rewards from a lot of hard work and actions of generosity and particular niceness that you've provided to the world, not just to other people, but to the world. And I don't know how you've done a lot of it, but I don't know, maybe you've picked up trash, maybe you volunteered, maybe you built some stuff for some birds, right? And like the birds didn't ask for it, but you wanted to build it for the birds. Maybe you've got some like squirrel feeding thingies. Maybe you've looked after some water birds like ducks and swans and what have you throughout the cold seasons of the year. You know, helping kids when they're crying, anything and everything. You've just done a lot of good, and now you're in your own world where you're enjoying what has aligned to you. And if you're not doing this yet, you're about to. You are about to. This is a very stable and specific energy and it is very divine in the point that like the Holy Trinity is coming through for someone. Even if you're not Catholic or religious, the Holy Trinity would just be like that energy of certain divine forces, right, that create an equilibrium of justice and fairness is how it's coming across. There's more to it, but that's like what wanted to be mentioned. So yeah, for some of you, romance will find you in partnerships as well, like in an actual romantic relationship. But that will be a while. You might as well enjoy yourself where you're at instead of like trying to seek it out or fixate on it or fantasize on it, because I feel like this group has done their clearing or reaccepting of the flaws that have happened through either other people or through what you were attracting in your life, and you've communicated enough of that. You've looked into the depths of you and the shadow work of it, or just, the healing aspect of it enough where you don't need to do anything there. If you're going to be waiting for a ship you don't know when it's going to arrive, right? You're just wasting your time on the beach and you might actually catch a cold. It might be dark by the time, like, you know, you need to actually go home, take a break, and come back, and you wait again, and it's like, why are you waiting so long, so many days in a row? Just go and enjoy your time. Go have fun. You're not gonna miss what is meant for you and what is yours, but it's like you're accepting the point of a lot of that, or you are going to accept it. You're going to swim into this energy. For those of you that have picked this file, but you're not there yet, you still feel like you're gripping at straws, grasping at straws, kicking and screaming, just trying to swim for the fucking life of you, right? You are getting ahead of yourself. Um, in some ways, but it's also like motivating you to push forward. And yeah, for others of you, you're just sitting in your throne. You're letting yourself recuperate, enjoy life. You're treating yourself well. You're discovering new things that you like. Maybe you've realized, like, oh, I really like. I don't know how or why this is coming across, but I really like these beauty procedures that I do for myself. I really like this cream that I buy. I really like, I don't know, like doing self massages because it helps me with either like pain or stress or something, right? Like maybe some of you have adopted a new nighttime routine where you're like, I really like this. It makes me feel so much better, and I think I'm falling asleep better. It's like good, good, good. Keep going, keep enjoying, keep harvesting what you can. Don't, for some of you who know how this type of stuff works when you're like calling in either resources or rewards or claiming your harvest, right? Don't claim all of it yet. Claim some of it that you've claimed, but like don't get lost in it yet because you are building up to something more miraculous or big that will be important when you're going to be shifting your life stage over. So yeah, keep having fun. Oh, so that was a lot of channeling, obviously, but we're gonna move on to some more Monster Garden Oracle cards. I always want to call them tarot cards because it just, I know they're Oracle cards, but they sometimes feel like tarot cards to me, and they are definitely, or there's no, yeah. But anyway, three off the top. I mean, yeah. I feel like some of you are really attaching yourself to this card in terms of like, oh my God, I'm gonna find my twin flame or soulmate or whatever. I'm gonna find love in relationships. Calm down. This is not about that. People can only meet us at where we are at, personally ourselves. We can't hope for someone to save us or to appear to be this Prince Charming, right? When we think we're a fucking peasant. That's just not how life works. I feel like to some of you that sounded not just harsh, but has knocked you off of your elevated state. Don't let my way of speaking to this do that to you or for you because I'm just being real and realistic and not letting, I guess, the feeling or the expectation of fantasy creep in because it's really being ripped out of our reality and spirituality, but in this timeline that we're all moving into this world that we're moving into, the fake expectations that we might have that we don't even understand are just fantasy that has no relevant roots in or whatever in what's gonna actually happen, right? It's all being removed so we don't go crazy and start expecting things that never happen and then blame ourselves for it or say that the universe is cursing us or spirit doesn't love us. That's not it. Like, this is a really good message and card for you because it's not that someone is coming in to get you. Like, this woman is not coming on this, like, weird, I don't know, snake, I don't even know, serpent, there we go, to come to you and get you and, like, whisk you away. It's more that you have found your own power and understanding of that power, and you're just riding it. You're actually in a place where you understand or are starting to understand your emotions, you're starting to express them, you're starting to like actually sit in that energy, and you're starting to find different ways of how you can love yourself, especially your shadow is coming through. Feminine wounding healing, masculine like wounding healing, whichever is more, relevant to you, regardless of your gender, right? But you are like stepping into this understanding that you have always been love. You have always been about love. You deserve to feel happy and to give that to yourself. And if you are gonna do it, you're gonna fly wherever you want. You're gonna achieve what you want. You're gonna be on cloud nine. You're gonna see how much spirit supports you, the options you have, the doors you can walk through. You don't even need to open these doors, apparently. They're just there. You can just walk through them, which is weird and interesting. I don't know how that relates, but you just have doors that you can walk through, yeah. Go for it. Earnest enthusiasm. Three off the top, I'm hearing. So I guess we're not reading it yet. Hmm. Okay. So I'm not gonna quite start talking just yet because there's something percolating. Okay, so if you're struggling with this type of energy, just go for the point of anything cheesy that you like. And I mean, like, I don't know, gratitude, gratefulness, whatever journal. Start doing that. See how it serves you or is nothing in 30 days, right? 30 days is one of the like primary breaks in programming, like mental programming. If you're even doing NLP, if there's something super strong gripping over you, 30 days is the window where you can start seeing it shift over and change over. A lot of people say it's 2 weeks, but 2 weeks you're still kind of like like flimsy about it, whereas a month you're already in a different world of your own. You're in a different even reality and timeline most of the time, or you at least start coming into limbo where you start shifting out whatever old experiences you didn't want or didn't like in your daily routine and you start doing a new one. So even with addictions or habits or routine, right? If you quit for just 2 weeks, it's easier for you to come back and relapse into it, and you're still in the stage of like weaning off or experiencing maybe withdrawals or mood swings or other things. But by 30 days, you're actually a whole new person living a different life. Dietary wise, it's the same thing. Your gut already like is realigned, and your what's it called? The bacteria biome is different in 30 days. Yes, 2 weeks is important, but the 2 weeks is really a breaking point where your body accepts that there is this new you're stepping into, but you're still kind of just either finishing letting go or letting go of all of the stuff you're still used to and you want to go back to that feels like home but isn't, right? It's not healthy for you. But in 30 days, the only thing you might need to be dealing with if you're still struggling is how you're talking to yourself, how you're thinking about it. Are you looking back or are you looking forward? Are you appreciating what you've done in terms of changes and how far you've gone? Or are you grieving over the point of like, I can't live like I used to and I freaking really liked it? Or it would be so much easier to just give in to my inhibitions and desires and addictions, right? And just go eat that fucking burger. And I said that I need to eat healthier and better because my acid reflux is messing everything up for me. Like my teeth, my sleep, my emotions, my stress. Like I need to quit this stuff, right? So for whoever needs to hear it, just go and do it and start and believe in yourself, believe in the process, believe in the point that it'll be over faster than you think it is, and that you all you need is your own love, care, support, and trust and belief. Everything else you might need from the world, you can ask for, pray for to God, to guides, to your ET friends or angels or whatever else you believe, right? Especially to the spiritualist, shrine work, temple work, altars, offerings, like fairy offerings are coming through for some damn reason. I don't know, maybe you have like fairy like energy and that's why. But all of those things will be helpful and they can help you not experience the withdrawals or the lows as much if you give over that aspect of your experience or the struggle to these energies, these spirits, they will help you. You'll be surprised at how much easier it is to change or quit whatever it is for you. I feel like it still applies to the people that t are t taking in harvest, and I don't know how, but I feel like you got the message of how what I just spoke about applies to you. Um, we're gonna move on to where, like, I don't know, the message kind of comes in for everyone. So, yeah, listen to your feminine side at this moment in time. Listen to how your emotions are communicating to you. Don't attach to them. Don't guilt them. Don't trip them out. Don't disown them or try and stuff them into some black box. Try and connect to your emotional side. Try and connect to the part of you that is more of resting and recuperating instead of just doing, creating, and moving and changing and shifting and doing even personal work. It's like you need to be at 100% batteries. You need to be ready for the days where you're gonna need to work. You're gonna need to be open to the change and the shifting of the energy when you're gonna need that. But currently, it's about sleeping, resting, having fun, and seeing what life is about while giving space to that difficult, like, side of it, where it's like slumps or other things, right? Because I feel like for some of y'all, it's cool. Like, I don't mind this place. I'm enjoying myself. This is good. This is better where I've fucking been. But to others of you is like, oh my God, how do I cross over this huge threshold? How do I move there? The people that are over this know what I'm talking about, and I feel like they actually have so much compassion for the other group here who are struggling with this. So, like, understand that you aren't alone. There's a huge uprooting happening, and like this collective is not forgotten. It's important. And this is something you are capable of. And, as soon as you tune into the point that I am capable, I have support, it's okay, and like being honest and real and giving like time for the feelings, for the process of it, that distance is gonna like, it's gonna shrink. The days in which this happens will become more important or more purposeful. They're gonna be actually enjoyable as well. They're gonna actually provide something that's gonna make you so much more happy in terms of going through this. Even the lows, even the lows. And I feel like some of you do have a lot of heartache and are like, but how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna move on with this? Why am I even here? Like, I didn't want this to end up like this. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought this was right. I was young and naive. I was trying to make ends meet. It's okay. It's okay. A change needed to happen, and the way we know how to make change is we get done with shit. We get over it. We are tired of it. We're beaten down by it. We can't keep doing it so bad so much that the only place to go is to go forward, is to go up, is to say no, is to be like, if I do this one more time, I'm literally gonna go insane or die, or I just can't. Like, I can't even fathom it. It makes me sick to some level, right? And it's hard that that is the truth of it, but really, like, we're stubborn beings. We're stubborn fucking beings. We want what we want. We do what we do. Comfort zones and comfortability is a thing, right? Needing to cope through something with unhealthy means is a thing. And it works for a while, it works, right? But then it freaking ends and we can't do it because went through so much. We've changed actually from the point of it being a thing that we do to the point of us stopping. That is a whole season. That's maybe a few seasons. That is a whole period of time where we're shifting and changing and having experiences and growing and developing from it. And it does build up to a breakthrough or a crescendo. Any glass ceiling that might be limiting us or holding us back just gets shattered the fuck away. And that is because of you being strong, you being wise, you being decisive, you being a person that's capable of more than what you thought you were. Yeah, it's a hard truth. Ending this cycle is very hard for some of y'all. Even the ones that are enjoying the harvest, I feel like there's just ghosts in your mind. Because I expected this message to be more uplifting and like, oh my God, you have your stuff happening. But it's more of a case of like, don't give up, don't stop, keep going. You're almost there, or you're so much more closer than you ever have been before, ever thought of being. Truth revealed, the monster behind the curtain. But I wanted to read the monsters behind the curtain. 10 or tens? Tens. So the monsters behind the curtains. So plural. So you guys are the group that has went through more than enough. Like, you know how people have like this one storyline of like, this is what happened to me and this is what I went through. And then you speak to other people that might not speak to it as much, and they're like, they might not even mention all of it, but you can see or hear from the way they talk that they've been through 20 times the amount of that story, that one story of like, I don't know, like I got cheated on, left at the altar, and some other stuff happened, and like I needed at least 5 years to recuperate from that, right? And then you speak to other people, and it's like, I've been having shit since I was three, man. I was seriously like going through it, and other people don't even believe it because they're like, you can't remember shit when you're three. You were a toddler. What are you talking about? It's like, nah, not if you're me. Not if you grew up where I was. Not if you saw what I saw. I was experiencing it maybe even before then, and I just didn't remember up until I was a toddler. And that was real. You don't know how real that was. You don't know what I went through. You don't believe it because all of this seems impossible to be a thing for one person, but I went through this. I went through this multiple of times. It kept happening. More shit just kept popping up. Like, don't tell me what the fuck my truth is. I know what I went through. And I feel like for some of you it's so hard to face the reality that this was real and other people can't even believe it. They just think it's unfathomable. It's almost like you sound like a pathological liar or an attention seeker, and it's like, you think I'd like this attention? You think this made me feel good? Talking about this isn't even my vibe, man. Like I want to run away from this and escape it. I don't want to talk about it. But you are. You are with yourself. You are with spirit. You're healing it. And I'm really sorry for some of you, like, I can feel how much is at the heart here, and I feel like you're really happy that someone's talking about this and is helping you feel this because some of you have been closed off from this, like significantly, and you haven't had the space to um just be like, yeah, for real. This is it, you know? Um, I feel like some of you are having like shivers and other things, and saying like, yeah, I am a survivor. Thank you for not ignoring that and not making this a fluffy reading. It's like I get it. I get it. M Much love and blessings to you. Your heart can heal. This can go away, and it will get lighter. It it does take a bit, but you are more than you ever imagined. If you went through so much, it's because you not only were you capable and you evolved through it, and it is something that will become that will shape a unmovable parts of you, I want to say, because those things aren't you. Didn't make you per se. You made you. You were you. You're the power of you, right? Those things were just things. They happen. They're periods of time. They're people. They're circumstances. But you're like this flow and fountain of love, of opportunity, of power, courage, of deeper understanding. Because you kept like fighting in a way of like, I'm not gonna let this deter me or stop me or change me. I'm gonna keep being me. I'm gonna do something beyond this. And you never lost faith. Even when other people did, even when it got tough and you did lose faith, you didn't really lose faith because you were so powerful. And now some of you are enjoying the harvest of it. There's shadow someplace, somewhere. Some things are hidden and everything's a bit foggy, but it's like you can feel that something is different. We spoke about the grateful journal, right? If it's not a journal, do it as a prayer when you wake up or when you go to sleep. Those few moments of when we're either getting into bed and falling asleep or when we're waking up is a huge opportunity to shift our thinking or programming or to kind of like infuse a certain emotion or positivity into our body or negativity. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't want to open my eyes, fuck today. That sets the tone. Even if it's gonna be a good or a bad day, it sets the tone. If you're like, I'll make it through it, I believe in me, or hi, good morning, me, I love you, something along those lines, it sets the tone again, even if it's gonna be a bad day or whatever. And it's all, again, coming back to that 30-day mark, like, do whatever you need to. Talk to yourself in the mirror and tell yourself I love you every day while feeling it. Give yourself a high five. There's a psychological process that happens when you give high fives. And so if you give a high five to yourself, it matters. Like Mel speaks to it. She's on YouTube. I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name. You can message it in the description, not description, comment section. Um, Writing, yeah, praying, taking 20, 30 minutes out of your day to just have a nice walk somewhere you like or go to a lake you like and feed ducks or really be present in meditation, whatever helps you. It could be mixing it up right throughout the week, like maybe you have a really nice piece of candy, or you like fortune cookies and they raise your hopes and stuff, right? You can get those every like 2, 3 days, right? Whatever is still healthy for you. I don't know. Like maybe, you're diabetic, it's not an option, but there's a bunch of different things that you could start trying and maintaining throughout the next 30 days that'll really help you shift this along and will give you your own answers on how things work and then will provide this level of appreciation that you've made it through this, even if it still haunts you, it makes you feel certain ways because this is going away. This is going away. And you can find peace in the middle of between this old version of you that gained so much strength and maybe has so much like so many thorns in it and pain, and this new version of you that's emerging where you are more relaxed, more loving, more caring, that helps you step into the understanding that you are capable, you're courageous, you're freaking smart, you're freaking beautiful, even with your scars, you know? That you are someone beyond what you've experienced. And it will never limit you. It could never hold back someone as beautiful as you are. beauty of the soul, beauty of the heart, of love, of making it. That's all that I can say with that, making it. This was way, way more and deeper than I thought it was. Like, this is the longest reading. I didn't expect it to be this long, but I really felt like I really needed to speak to all of this. It was really important. And I did feel at points that this is going on for so long, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the reading and as much as like I don't know, I kind of really appreciated this message coming through. If you need help, pray for it, ask for it. If there's someone you can trust to help you through this process, go there. If you need therapists or shrinks or some type of like counseling, go for it. Don't hold yourself back from the love that you can receive now in bridging, this experience of going from the hardship to the success and the love of it. Thank you so much for getting a reading here. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your time. Um, I really appreciate you. I'm sending you a lot of love and blessings and care and just all of it, really. And I believe in you. I don't know who needs to hear that, but I really believe in you. You can do it. Doesn't matter where you're at, you can do it. And if you need to hear more of you can do it, ask for it from spirit, from God, from the universe, from the invisible little friends we all have around us that see what we go through. If you're a person like this, there's someone waiting on the other side for you to let them in to help you. They just need you to say, I am open to receiving help from my guides. I am open to receiving love and protection from the archangels. I am open and to receiving love and care from God or messages from spirit, from ghosts, from passed on loved ones. You just need to give them permission. I guess that's all. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can click on the link tree down below. I have started like streaming again in Twitch. And besides that check out my channel for like podcast episodes and other stuff. And thank you for comments and likes and subs and all of the other support that you show me. It makes my day sometimes. I mean, it makes my day in general when that happens. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. You have a good time, and I'll see ya. Hello, pile number three. Let's check out what you got. Emperor, upright. Wow, I'm actually getting uprights. Is this reverse? No, it's not reversed. Um, that deck that these cards come from is still not quite shuffled through, but it is still coming up right from the vibes of it, from the feeling of it. So that's quite cool. All right, let's see what the cards had in store for us. Upright, reversed. Okay, not a bad thing. Three off the top as well. A lot of lower realm dense ego cards. Not always, like everything has polarity or duality of good and bad. It just depends. Oh, okay. I can feel the vibe. I can't formulate the image or the message. Okay, let's see what happens. Like Serpent Koyo, like lower realms even, they're not bad cards, but the point that all of them are coming out like this is just interesting. And another one. Mm, that one as well. Let's check these out. Okay. If you're not like able to be doing something currently right now, you can't find flow, you can't find like your vibe and things. You just can't. It's because something's happening in the higher realms or in your astral form, in other dimensions, in other aspects of you, in other worlds or, places of spiritual residence. I'll just say. You are in your Emperor vibe, but it's not working for a reason because there's something happening, as it's said, like metaphorically, in the heavens, in the ether, in the spirits of it. And you're if you're struggling with your emotions currently, it's because you aren't actually tapping into like your core heart. You're actually being driven and kind of a bit loony by your unbalanced like lower chakra energy or your ego, like the wounded side of the ego is coming on. So if you have a desperation to move and run and do and achieve really quickly, where is that coming from? Why is it coming from? Because you have power and awareness within all of this. You I can even see that your like chakras are super freaking open and aligned, man. But you're coming from a place that's closed off, that is in pain to some extent. And it feels like it's like that because you're not getting what you want. Some of you are finding wisdom. Some of you, I need to preface, you're very conscious and understanding of what I'm talking about, and you're not taking it that way as I'm saying. Like you aren't, letting me imprint this situation on you because you're aware that that was something that was happening, and then you started using all of this to your benefit to gain emotional stability and wisdom to center yourself. But you understand that there's something happening that's actually also rebalancing like your masculine and your feminine, and that you're not ready to go just yet. And it's okay that you're not going just yet because you're transforming. You're going through alchemy. You're going through something that is part of the journey of this like acquiring of perfection, destination, of an ultimate goal you've had all your life, of the point of serenity that you want to reach. It's all part of it. And it's not something that happens overnight. It is something that you need to be at peace with. And it's okay. Like some of you are on top of your game, others of you are like mm, you're having a lot of trouble because it's kind of like, I want this now. Why isn't it not happening now? I went through enough shit. I've done enough work. Why? I'm sorry if that hurts, because I feel like me just saying that really freaking hurt or pissed someone off. I wanted to say something off. Ew, okay, some of you have an attachment and you need to get rid of it. It might be from a person that's codependent with y'all. If that's the case, you'll get messages either in tarot readings or other parts that are reaffirming this message. Don't create it if it's not there, especially if you're just not agreeing with someone and you're not resonating, but they're not doing that, right? Like don't attach it. But if you instantly felt like fuck, or your eyes bulged out, or you just felt like a cord going outside of your body to something in the room, some corner of your freaking room, or to a person instantly, right? Or something along those lines, or you remembered like, oh, that happened. If in theory that could open me up to something or attach a cord to something, or like I was in this bad place in my life and I was seeking something to have company with, and maybe I did get that right. Like if you're in a place like that, then yeah, you gotta do some work. You gotta do some cord cutting. Do seek understanding before you do the clearing, cleansing, or cord cutting, because it will not work if you don't seek understanding of your own soul and volition with it through God or your guides or what have you. Because you will just, that being isn't gonna leave, that cord is gonna reform back. You need to understand what wound or experience it's attached to, or you are still attached to, or is still driving you to be able to have this let go or detach or get snipped away or just banish that bitch into wherever they need to go, right? You need to understand before you can change. Otherwise, you're just throwing knives in the dark and you're gonna maybe accidentally like hurt someone you don't want to or need to hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself. Like, it's just not worth it. Alchemy needs to happen. We can't be superficial when it comes to this type of stuff or surface level. Especially with you going for some pinnacle of perfection. Also, wait a second. There's just something coming through that keeps like pulling my freaking attention away. But we're gonna move on from that. I'm being told like don't worry about it, ignore it. I'll just ask Spirit to take care of it so I can continue with the reading. But yeah, you might have a lot of that as well, like distraction, a certain corner of the room you prefer, a certain item you prefer and love, you're super attached to. Um, some type of being you speak to in your head that you're like, oh my God, I love you. And it's like you have this like I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it. You're just chained actually to it without being aware of it. Um, yes, it's scary going out on your own, but it's better that you are self-sufficient and not being compromised by some type of like reluctant energy than you are. Moving on to the whole entire reading, because that was for those that this is relevant to. Um, you aren't moving quite yet. You're accepting the point that this needs time, although I feel like the Time Master is you, so you like playing around with probability, cause, and time distortion. You have a power with that. You can slow down time, you can speed it up, you can manifest stuff almost basically on the day. Maybe it's in the week, and you're like, that's the week. That's gonna happen, and you forget about it, and then it happens, and you're like, I fucking said so. I told you so. That energy is anyway, we're not gonna go there again. But anyway, we're gonna go to like what are your abilities? Some of you are like tinkers and scientists in the astral, and I don't know why it was important for me to tell you that, but you are scientists and tinkers in the astral. You are engineers of like it's a pretty high level. I'd say this is a decent level. Like um I don't know, the level of like neuroscientists, quantum physician, like physics, quantum physicians, whatever. It translates differently in the astral, but still, let's say like yeah, quantum physicians, quantum medicine doctors, um, bionics lab for someone. Some people just be making weapons out there. Uh, anyway, you are. Don't make it up to be something else. But yeah, you are. Three off the top, please. Okay. That was actually, was that? Actually, no. That's weird. I don't know if that was like the top and bottom or bottom of the deck at one point, but anyway, let's keep on moving on. Yeah, look, you're smart, you're clever, but the some of you know you shouldn't be taking shortcuts. Others of you are like, I'm gonna take all the damn shortcuts I want and I please, and you can't tell me no or yes. Well, then click off the video and go do whatever you want. If you want actual help and guidance, then stick around and we'll talk about it. But like, you do need rest to figure some of these details out in spirit form when you're sleeping. You're still working and doing things. So you being super practical and grounded here, like, is important. You need to look after yourself because the thing that I'm getting as well is like this incarnation of you is really close to your higher self. Like it's really close to source and like higher realm things, and some of you have significant responsibilities there. Some of you are just important players, but others of you are part of councils, are part of courts, are parts of like these organizations that are meant here to be supporting and uplifting humanity. And if you don't look at after yourself, if you don't figure out your mental hiccups and instabilities, if you in general go against yourself in some type of way of just trying to be like let me hyperfixate on this and everything will work out. Let me ignore self-care. Let me just work. Let me then you're gonna be burnt out. You're gonna be fucking crazy, and you're not gonna be able to use these gifts that you have, this intrinsic ability that you have. Others of you have been there, and you've stepped out of it. You're in such a better place than you've ever been, and you are becoming the true emperor, my friends. You are becoming the like pinnacle of what it is to use masculine energy in its highest and holiest form. You understand your mishaps, your mistakes. You understand the shadows and how they are a part of you in a way that can be healthy and aligned with source. You do not want to go against the flow of what is meant to be. You want to contribute to the natural law of all in unconditional love and prosperity, even if you might need to be the bad guy. Some of you might need to be that in some way, I'm getting, but it's not bad as in detrimental or evil or consuming or negligent or whatever. It's more like almost like playing devil's advocate, but in a different way. Like it's not the same phrase or meaning of the phrase. It's more like you need to be that bad guy. So let's say your soulmates can learn their lessons and then the mask falls off and you show them that you were a friend all along. But you knew the limits of where you need to be considerate or you need to show tough love or you need to like and but not too tough, right? Like you have a wisdom where it's like not everyone can be this raw or honest or play devil's advocate. They can't be this trustworthy force that is holding the energy of like darkness or negligence in a way, right? But you know that you show up to certain people, and even then, like this isn't for everyone that you meet. Most of the time, I feel like you're like up in unconditional love and good vibes, but like sometimes you see that it's like a soulmate that is deep in their shit and they can't see the darkness, like they can't see the forest through the trees, and you need to be that mirror or reflection. And at some level, it's fun for you. At other points, it's not. Most of the time, I feel like you get the vibe of it really well and really quickly, and it's like sometimes even it can just be like a one-off thing to you. If you do it once for a person, you never need to do it ever again. Sometimes they go away right away. Some of them become friends and start building like empires with you, or start building relationships that are healthy with you, or start building good friendships, right? Some of them might think that they need to out you out of their life, but then they set boundaries, they have a mature conversation with you, and that shifts their reality, that shifts their energy. You are the same. You're sitting as the emperor, just being like, was that really so hard now? Can we start talking like mature individuals? Can we really be like people now? Like can we go past this shit? Because I really just wanted for you to have the best you can. Because if it wasn't gonna be me, you were gonna meet real people that would leave a dent, that would harm you, that wouldn't be working with you in this energy, you know? It's very scorpionic in a way, where it's like, I'm gonna sting you because I know where to sting, and you need the sting, and I swear to you, everything comes from the heart. Like it's from love. Like this is a very healed Scorpio energy. Like I know my purpose and I know your purpose. And we are going to realize it together and see where that leaves us off. You don't even take it personal when people get upset at you for doing it. Some of you are Scorpios for fucking real. But you like accept that it's like part of your purpose. To some extent, you enjoy it. Sometimes you hate it because especially in loving partnerships of like romance, you've hurt some of the people you've loved deeply, and you've not forgiven yourself for it. But they've been a catalyst for you in the same way you're a catalyst for other people. They showed you the capacity of your sting and the power of it, and how you need to look after yourself instead of just being like, I know what's right, I know how to do it, fuck you, like I don't care. No. You've realized that this isn't a game, even when it is a game. Even when it is fun, you have maturity and consideration that is needed or that you are capable of, and it's not something you can escape. And you figure out a lot of the depths of the human psyche and consciousness. You've figured out a lot of the darkness. You figured out a lot of the harmful aspects of how people have their untapped ego just like rrr, 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 was just flying everywhere. And you've taken the steps necessary to elevate to a higher point where you are working with natural law and universal like good or alignment. And even that isn't just one-sided, like love and light and whatever. No, in nature, survival and beauty isn't exactly what we think sometimes, right? For the ecosystem to be functioning in a way that is prosperous for all, some things get eaten, some things eat. There's predators and herbivores and all the others in the mix. There's volcanoes and there's oceans. There's everything, right? There's polarity and extremes, but then there is this middle ground where most of us like really sit and or working our way towards to find equilibrium. It's like golden ratio vibes. Um, the natural law of things. The natural law of physics even is coming through as well. And you know that there's something at the finish line here. It's not about the destination. You understand that the journey is fine, but like you are waiting for the destination because it'll begin a new stairway that you've been looking forward to for many, many lifetimes. Many, many lifetimes. You wanted to achieve this. You wanted to be a master in this regard. You wanted to become this new version of you so you could teach it to other people. That's actually ultimately why you're an emperor, is so you can learn as much as you can to become a master, so you can become a teacher. And then you're gonna start stepping into the feminine aspects as well. You're just like kind of finishing up the masculine. And then you're gonna move on. The Kundalini is coming through here, but it's not coming through in the same way. I don't feel like you're gonna experience Kundalini. I actually feel like this is talking about the point of death where Kundalini energy really comes through for most people. Some people experience Kundalini. It's not for everyone. I feel like that was a certain amount or level of like light workers that were carrying through scorpionic or death energy through the planet in certain ways, maybe light codes, maybe like body elevation, readjustment or like DNA activation, right? Whereas for you, I feel like this is actually the point that you will release so much when that happens that it's going to be like a sonic boom or a ripple throughout reality, and all of that you learn is going to ripple out so much, so well. It's going to elevate so many people. It's going to elevate like a fabric of reality, and then you will be reborn in a way where you will become um, a feminine student, a queen in like teaching and evolving and becoming a mother figure for people. Currently, that's not where you're at, and it's not about that. But it's like, I don't know, a big soul evolution story. Yeah, that's how that's coming across. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah, there's something with the freaking Emperor card. You're not a machine. You're not a robot. Just because some people have called you that doesn't mean you're actually that. It's just that you went through so much in your incarnations. You've went through so much that it's like this is not the lifetime for you to be delving into it. The feminine time will be to delve into it and to do personal inner growth and healing. And that's how, you learn as a feminine to teach as well, is like you delve into the depths to come out of them and show that nurture capacity, feeling, knowledge externally, like have it go from the internal to the external. As a masculine, you kind of do and create inside and external. You're making, you're doing, like you're actually just making it like making it, you're in the point of creation and doing in a way that's, well, masculine. Just because you've lived through so many lives of being this cipher of energy, maybe quite logical, rational, cold, and disconnected, doesn't mean you don't have a heart. It just means you're operating in a certain way, and it is of wisdom. It's just higher mind wisdom more so than heart and emotional wisdom. You'll go to the depths of it when the time comes. Those people that can't recognize it don't understand the complexity behind you, but they also don't understand your journey, where you're at, the importance of you, and like that you can't really change your stripes in a way. It's all come from somewhere and it's all going through to somewhere. You're not a bad person for being who you are because you are constantly considering. You're always looking into the deeper meaning of things. You're always reviewing where you're at, how you're acting. Like you're so considerate in the way that you need to be and the way that is free to you, like the way it's coming across is like you can't expect a person, right, that's deeply emotional and functions on that emotionality to get super logical and live happy by that and actually be functioning properly by that when they intrinsically are a person of emotion. They make sense through emotion. They process through emotion. They like compromise ideas and action through emotion, right? Same for you. Like if you're a person that's super in the mind and logical, and you think of details and you memorize ideas and calculations and like different points of how life connects or value systems within that in mathematical ways, not value systems and whatever else, but like tit for tat, this is how like an engineer, right? uh you can't expect an engineer to function by emotions and actually make anything work. It's not how that works. Like they're logical of the mind for a reason. That's their purpose. That's how they're born to be. How can you expect them to make a freaking computer if they're only like thinking about emotions and love and other things, right? Not saying we can't have a mix of that in life, like obviously we can, but if you're going through extremes or two extremes of like inherently this is just the person and how they are, they can't really make stuff up the same way. Because they just function differently. Like everything's zero and one. It's binary, it's calculations, it's facts, it's points, it's ideas, it's that's their reality. That's how naturally they understand and make sense and communicate and create and do. It's nothing wrong with you. It's just I think some people like underestimate how much you actually care or love or don't understand the language that you communicate in. Some of you might have like some autistic stuff happening, but like neither here or there. Not for everyone, don't dig into it. But yeah, I think people get offended because it seems like you're not emotional, but you are. It's just like you function in the mind. You're a logical person, and so like you know how to control your emotions differently. They don't rule over you. Like something really needs to upset you for you to lose yourself, or you need to fall madly in love with something for you to have your mind shut down. Other than that, like everything comes from the mind and is considered and calculated and thought through, and like you say truth, you don't lie. Other people, if they can't handle it, it's their thing. Like they need to actually check their emotions. They don't need to be checking your emotions out. They need to be checking their emotions out. You even just saying it is gonna upset and piss them off. So, you know, like I don't know, take it with your own relationships or situations if you need to mention it or not. Sometimes I think logical people have to mention something for others to just get it through their heart or thick skull, but other times it's better to just not say anything, right? Depends. But like don't take it to heart. You're an amazing person that has a lot of care and love and you're using your abilities and talents to the fullest. All right. I guess that was that. That was a really interesting reading. Thank you so much for having this reading with me. I appreciate you and I appreciate your time and presence. If you want to show me some support, go down to like the comment section and the other important buttons of like, subscribe, and etc. If you want to see my streams or other stuff I do, you can check out the link tree. And other than that, this is where I'm gonna leave you off and have a good, beautiful time. Hello, pile number four, the last pile. Let's go into it. All uprights. That's nice. That's freaking great. The thing that I'm instantly getting is like newfound truth. Being a fresh perspective within whatever thing you are in. Like so. In university, you're the person that speaks on new ideas or odd questions that are outside the box. In your workplace, you're the person that has a fresh perspective that maybe doesn't always hold answers or creates the change that you would want or like, or even others would, want or like, but it gives a push and influence into the conversation of people starting to think in a different way that's really useful and then eventually creates this new solution that people are looking for. Besides that, you might be kind of a bit flighty and going through some things. You might be a bit excited, a bit childlike as well. Some people might be saying that you're like too young and naive and other things, but some of them don't understand or have the capacity that one, they're jealous, or two, they're so old in the way they think or stuck in their expectation of what is right and wrong and other things that it's like it's kind of messing them up in a way. It really is. You might be seeing things a bit, yeah, a bit new, basically. And other people might be having like doubts about that, but also I don't think they can actually deny how much use and point and just importance you have within the conversation. Like it's like, oh my God, we need young people or these type of ways of looking at things or this perspective or whatever. Like we need to be like this or have this in the group. So, some people actually are getting surprised because they never thought that this type of energy or approach would be beneficial. They thought it was just young, naive, flighty, and whatever. And you're showing a different side to it, a different example to it. You are having a little bit of an experience of like here or there. Like you are looking after yourself and you're looking at things in a way where you're learning from all of it. Like you're accepting the point that like not everything is clear to you and that you are like studying yourself in a way or you're accepting that like this is not something that's going to happen overnight or over 1 month or over 1 year. You understand that you might be in school for a few years currently right now and take it as a metaphor for your own situation. You might be in this position for a while. You might be in this training for this new skill for a while. You might be in this game for a while, right? Where you are having to exercise, you're having to look after yourself, you're needing to take your time, and you are a little displeased because you kind of need to get along with where you're at. Like that you're this type of energy in this position in this life. That you are this person where you are actually a fresh energy. I, I want to say so much, and it's like I keep needing to hold myself back. Whereas other piles I could just channel, here I keep needing to stop because there's just like this distractive energy of just wanting to like grab it and go with it, just run, just go, just run. And it's not about that. You actually are quite conscious and aware that that's not about that. You understand that you just have so much vigor, energy, enthusiasm, motivation, pizzazz, but that you can't squander it. You can't waste it. It's important for you to take your time. Be expressionate. There's a lot of blue, right? Share your power. Share your like maybe mystical cosmic qualities. You might be very creative and out of the box in most of the places you find yourself in. But that you need to not get away with it, not run away with it. I don't know why you know that so well. Maybe you've had an experience, maybe someone has told you that and you've realized where they were coming from. Or it's like you yourself have an inherent like stop button that's holding you back in the good way. Like if I run ahead, I'm gonna say some shit I don't want to and it's gonna like fuck me over. If I run ahead, I might burn out. If I run ahead, I might lose this motivation. Or I might be overwhelmed with all of the attention I have from other people, or I can't be present in my life, right? And you really value being present and emotionally fulfilled. You are a person, regardless of you being youthful or young or fresh or with fresh ideas or whatever, you have a really wise approach in the point of like maybe you like reading in the park, maybe you like having walks to the lake with your favorite thermos of like cup of tea or other things. Like you like solitude to some extent, so you could start like so you can look at things a different way or a different perspective. Maybe you really like having those walks with your dog. They like regenerate you. Maybe you like hanging out with older people in a way that's like mature. Like you're not, going out drinking with like the older alcoholics or whatever, or party folk. But you are more like, oh, hey, let's meet up here for this like lunchtime, I'm like looking forward to having like this afternoon tea or dinner with you because I really appreciate having a mature person to talk to, even if I'm like, "Buh, buh, 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 buh," like youthful and have all of these ideas and other things. Like you're okay in how you express yourself, but you appreciate the more, I want to say mature things in life. And it's such a refreshing aspect of just I don't know conversation and vibe to other people. The older friends you have that are real friends, the real ones. I don't I feel like it's very important to preface that. The real ones love you so much that they can be free with someone like you and they can like reintroduce that part of themselves to themselves or that they can have like this extreme polarity experience with you. Like, let's say maybe you even have like a really old grandma, grandpa friend, right? And you go like walk the dog together or meet up for, I don't know, book club or food or something, right? Like, they really appreciate that they have someone useful to talk to while they are so over it, like maybe not completely rigid, but like you can't teach an old dog new tricks type of thing, and they're not fighting it, but they're so happy that they have a place with you at the same table. It really reinvigorates them and rejuvenates them to be like, life is so vibrant and colorful, like it's so interesting, and like they're not afraid of saying their mind, whereas other times they might be because they are afraid to offend their family members. They're afraid to look like authority. They're afraid to look critical or controversial, not even controversial, conservative. There we go. They're afraid to look conservative. Whereas with you, if you guys are polar opposites, like you're basking in it. You're appreciating that there's such a huge gap but that it's so fun in the middle. Like it's reinvigorating. I feel like you have really interesting life circumstances or situations playing out. They're so varied and different. Like you might be going out clubbing Friday, and then you have like a chill day of painting and writing on and working out or some other stuff on Saturday. Sunday you go to family brunch and other things. Um, Monday, you and your friends are planning like an event after work of like bike riding or something, like motorbike riding, like, and you just keep going on a something different each and every day. You're using your youth to the fullest in a way, or you're using that youthful energy to the fullest. Some of you are rainbow children, some of you are indigos, some of you are just like, I don't know, aliens. Like you're aliens. Like you're a very out there energy. You're out of this world. Some people might even call you out of this world. They might say like you look magical. You look cosmic. You're from the stars. You're an angel. You're magical. Like you're fairy-like. Sometimes that has confused you, other times it's been so obvious. Some of you are still figuring it out, but some of you are like, I know who I am. I know what I do. You don't need to tell me. I feel like you're gonna keep being this energy that really brings people forward or in line instead of them bickering on what's right and wrong. I feel like because of you being so okay with saying stuff that's out of bounds, and doesn't always stick or land, right? It's teaching other people that they don't need to be right. They don't need to fight for what's right. They just need to be themselves. Like just be uniquely you and it'll be all right. We don't need to be always right. Like the point of life is to figure out, the right and the wrong. Sometimes it's about figuring out what it isn't instead of just saying what it is and being the right one or winning in it. We win, all of us win if some of us lose, and it doesn't need to be a bad loss, it's just ebb and flow. It's like in a battery, or electricity, plus and minus. It's how things function. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes you're a plus, sometimes you're a minus. You're fine with either because you know that it just completes the chain of like electricity, of power, of energy flowing. You've been born for this, you've been born for this. There's something in astrology that's gonna really fucking shock you, though. You are a person that knows a lot and thinks that you know a lot, but even you will be surprised with some things. Some of you know because you're like, there's no way. This is there's just no way. But others of you are like, yeah, I don't know, kind of like settled in a way, and you will get uprooted and surprised. I feel like your guides are super excited for that. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional. My eyes are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And some of you, it is a partnership. Some of you is falling in love. Like falling in love. You'll have a lot of, I feel like you'll have a lot of relationship experiences, but there's gonna be one. There's gonna be one. That one. Ooh, ooh, I'm getting shivers. I'm getting like torso shivers, and there's like a lot of emotion behind my eyes. Oh, the energy of being tired is coming through a little bit. Like you're energized, but you're tired of some stuff. Um, you're tired of being the fresh face. You're tr tired of being the useful, emotional, like not lovey-dovey, but like loving, daring, caring, useful energy that motivates, inspires, and is just okay being in this position. You kind of wish there was more people like that. That's also because you've come from a place where that was normal, that was society, that was everyone. Whereas now, there's not as much of an exchange there. You're the diplomat. You're the scales in this situation. You counterbalance everything that's out of balance and it's getting to you sometimes, but then you just come back to being like, I know, I hold my truth, I move forward, and I just say, fuck it, it's fine. Like the more time that will pass, for some reason, it's coming across as like you'll find more company in this. And I think one, it's astrological, and so like, how that energy impacts the planet and we shift through it, it's gonna like result eventually at a place where or at a energy where we are all living like this a lot more. Currently there's a transitional time to that. I don't know how long it's going to be going for, but it's happening. And for you as well, on another level, it's like you are quantum jumping or shifting timelines into position where you're going to meet more of those people. It's like those people are going to connect more in this different parallel world, in this timeline, in this different frequency of Earth, right? You are going to actually shift and jump and leap and move well enough to start having that as more of your definite experience. I think people like you are separated and segregated so you can make the most out of it in a way. Because once it's done forever, and you're back home, but there's just so much opportunity and prosperity hidden in this turbulent energy here for you. And sometimes it's not sustaining you, sometimes it's not sustainable, but that's the point. It's like the old is getting eaten up, it's getting, boop, 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 getting destroyed. And you're finding something magical about you that you wouldn't have found in other ways. So, like, let's say we were speaking about that other world or planet where people like you are the norm, right? Well, that's the norm. Everyone's just like accepting of like this is who we all are. This is just how society works. This is normal. This is just it, right? Whereas here, you can see the vast difference of it a lot more. You can realize the power behind it, the importance behind it, especially in lower realms where a lot of energies have said like there's not much opportunity or capability or prosperity or potential for these lower realms, for these worlds from lower realms. Like you can't do shit in the 3D. Fucking watch me. We can't do anything? What do you mean? What do you mean? We're magic. Like all of it is the same thing. It just, you can see the difference in color a lot more. You can actually see the power and opportunity, and you can also see how much more definable your characteristics, power, abilities, capabilities are down here because you're not seeing it as like the norm or unanimous. It's not the same. It's more like I am actually unique and I didn't see it before because this place functions in such a ass backwards way for me personally. Like no judgment, but like for me, this is abnormal to some extent. This is different. This isn't feeling like home. But it's exciting because I'm seeing so much of myself. I'm seeing how my colors truly shine in this like world that only has mostly a spectrum of these colors. I understand that my flavor hits a lot more because people only know like salt, bitter, and whatever, right? And I'm actually quite sweet. You know what I mean? Like it's coming across like that. And you're really letting yourself shine. Like I feel like a lot of you are using this opportunity to the fullest, and you are making something out of it. Three off the top, and top and bottom. Interesting how all of the other cards are now coming out reversed almost. Yeah, so you accept how you're creating something completely new here, and that is shifting the collective. You've definitely seen a lot of that. I feel like a lot of you have been into spirituality from a very young age. Some of you have hippie parents or magician parents, or you have parents that are pretty 3D, but you feel the magic emanating from them. Like they're special. You know they're special. You know they're soul family to you. You know they've worked hard to create the home environment that you're currently experiencing or the family environment that you are like secluded to because it's apparent to you. Like you're a part of this mission in a way. And you really appreciate the opportunity to even be here, to even be in this position, to even be a part of this generation. There's something about when you were born that you're so happy you were born when you were born. There's something about like if I was born earlier, I would have lost my shit. And I think fuck didn't like, didn't get like into the planet later 'cause or earlier or anything 'cause like this is the perfect time for me. I'm gonna make the most out of it. Like, you're very set. You're not gonna let yourself be hampered by something that is not for you. I feel like you're living a pretty individual life where it is about you, not necessarily the community as much. It's not to say that you don't have friendships, communities, or other things, but you don't need to apply yourself to these dynamics or industries or otherwise. It's about you being uniquely you and shining within that social norm and then finding the power of that uniqueness, finding the purpose behind the energy of your actual collective of where you come from, the point of you being from the stars, what does it mean here on Earth? Why is it important? How does it like translate? And you're not taking shit from other people. You're a very independent person and you don't let yourself feel down by it. You feel more empowered, like nothing can hold you back, nothing can shun you out. If you get left out, you fucking go and do your own thing on you go on your own adventure. You create what you like. You make your life up and you just see what's going to happen. It's like a sandbox to you. And you do communicate to spirit about it because you do want to stay aligned. It's also just like a child that's exploring and like, oh, doing that, like I want to do this and I want to do that. Can we do this? What about what happens if I do that? Like, and it's just so much excitement and joy, and you know it's all a blessing, and you're so caring towards the point that like this is something I'm gonna love with all my heart. This is a life of experience and I'm loving it. Like I'm loving it. Like yeah, you see darkness, but it's not about that. Everyone can like see problems. Not everyone can see this. Like not everyone can be experiencing this and seeing this. Yeah, instead of like being very balanced, I feel like you just go to one extreme sometimes and just keep on thinking of the new things that you could be doing and creating and transforming. You understand that you're not really a person that needs to embody all of duality and balance and harmony and like temperance is not you. I don't know which card is you because the King of Swords is just like talking about your um action, the way you move forward. As this temperance is just saying that this is not how you move forward. You're not a person that's really good at being centered or balanced in the same way other people are centered and balanced. Your center and balance is being uniquely in this extreme of who you are and how you are and exploring the magical, ethereal depths of like you being from the stars, you being this like force of nature, you being this like person that's kind of like on the tip of everyone's tongue or in everyone's mind sometimes. And you understand that some people couldn't deal or handle with any single part of your life. Like some people might be envious and jealous, but they don't know half of it in terms of like how they're not built for it. Like naturally, that's just not them. Naturally, this is you and you have a lot of wisdom and like life's just kind of like weird and magical that way. No judgment, no nothing. But this is like how I like moving forward. This is what I like doing. You might be a very fast-moving person or energy as well. You might be someone that has a few jobs in your life, or most of the jobs you have are like surfer instructor, life guard, swimming teacher, something about like I don't know, working at the circus for the summer. Um, being a receptionist at the ski lodge, which has more benefits than actual like monetary reward. So like low income, but you have a good room that's paid for. You get fed 5 times or whatever, four, 3 times, whatever in the day. You can ski and rent all of the equipment that you need for that, right? And it's like that's where I want to go this summer, this winter. Like that's me. Um, Yeah, like I don't know, I guess I'm getting cruise work, I'm getting artists, like I'm but people that don't really stay in one thing, like the mastery you have is your personality, energy, and uniqueness, but the things you do are so rapidly different and spontaneous and changing that like you might be to an extent a jack of all trades or you have a little bit of influence and impact and teaching in many different ways, right? And if by the time you're 30 or 40, like thank God we're not gonna look at life anymore the same way. I don't think like we used to have like, oh, they can't commit or they're flighty if they have a lot of different jobs, especially this type of like, employment. Like that was the thing in not even just the Western world, but in general, like, oh, you can't hold on to a job. Da, 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 da. You're not responsible. And it's like, no, some people are just made for this. And that's beautiful. That's them. That's unique. That contributes to society in such a way. Some people just need to catch up to the freaking memo, like, and like in you might not have a lot of money, but you travel the world. Like you just find opportunities. You even become like a substitute teacher at some point, and you're like teaching kids sports for a little while, and they're like, "You're the best teacher we ever had." The next, month, you're going off to be like a vocalist or something at a band. And you're not earning a lot of money, but you're earning enough and you can plan and manage and just create magic out of nowhere. Some people are like so jealous they talk shit about that, but like by the time you're 30 or 40, people are gonna look at you and be like, "Oh my God, you've lived a damn life, didn't you? You have so much talent and ability." And it's like, yeah, I picked up a little bit of everything everywhere. Like I'm not necessarily like super experienced or proficient in all of it. Like some things I know better than others, right? Some of them are just simple enough. Like there's a little bit of the same when you're a teacher, when you're an administrator or receptionist, when you're like a guide or a tour guide or something, right? But at the end of the day, like yeah, all of these things were like little snippets of experience and time in life, and like I'm really happy through what I went through the people I met. Like it's just me. It's just me. This was really cool. I wanted to pull some more cards, but I don't feel like I need to. I feel like we are done here. Um, there we go. Thank you, camera. Yeah, I don't need to pull any more cards. We're done. This was great. This was an interesting reading. Keep on shining, you rainbow children, you. Um, Indigos, whatever. I don't even know all the terms. I don't think like labels even apply when we're hitting some of this type of energy, vibe, or people or personalities. Like, you just you. Keep on being you. This is lovely. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you want to share your story or like leave some support, feel free to do that down below the video. And otherwise, you can check out my link tree for my streams and other stuff that I do because I started doing streams on Twitch again. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Love, peace, and blessings. Bye bye.